Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to skip the surface level and give you that expert understanding. Today, we're cracking open a really specific part of a major travel resource.
That's right. We're looking at Scenic Hunter's ultimate guide to the best national parks in the USA. Now, that full list covers, well, an incredible range. Think Everglades, Death Valley.
Huge variety.
Exactly. But our mission today for you is about quality, not just quantity. We want a focused discussion. So we're zeroing in on what the source calls the absolute peak experiences. We're diving deep into just the top 15 must-visit national parks from their list.
Okay, the top 15. So when you look at the whole system, what really makes this group stand out according to Scenic Hunter? It can't just be beauty, right?
No, it's more than that. It's about this concentration of superlatives.
Yeah.
Geological, biological, even tectonic. The source argues these 15 represent something unmatched.
Unmatched how?
Well, think massive scale meeting raw planetary power. We're talking parks that show off the most extreme erosion, the highest peaks, active geothermal stuff, sometimes all in one place.
Okay, I see. So it's about the intensity of the natural forces on display.
Precisely. So we're going to count down these 15 spectacular must-visits, kicking things off in the dramatic Southwest.
All right, let's jump into these Southwestern giants and ancient wonders. Starting at number 15, Canyonlands National Park, Utah. The first thing that hits you is the scale, isn't it? It's this enormous desert labyrinth carved out by two major rivers, the Colorado and the Green.
It is. And it's split into 4 really distinct, huge districts. But Canyonlands gets its spot here, right at the start of the top 15, because it balances 2 things perfectly: accessibility and genuine deep wilderness.
How so?
Well, on one side, you have the Island in the Sky district. It's basically this huge, flat-topped mesa. You can literally drive right up to these incredible viewpoints.
Okay, so pretty easy to get those big vistas.
Yeah, almost anyone can witness those sheer drops, look down into the canyons. But the source stresses that's just scratching the surface.
Right, there's more to it.
Definitely. You need that deeper experience, like getting up for sunrise at Mesa Arch. It's iconic for a reason, the way the sun hits the arch and just lights up the whole canyon floor below in this amazing golden light.
Wow. And what about the wilderness side?
That's where the other districts come in. If you're really looking for isolation, a serious challenge, there's the Maze District. You need a high clearance 4x4 just to get in there. It's known as one of the most rugged but also most rewarding wilderness areas in the entire park system.
Okay, Canyonlands sets a high bar. Now, moving from that deep erosion, we head north. Number 14 is Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming. Those peaks, they're just unreal.
They really are. Those jagged granite spikes just shoot straight up from the valley floor. We're talking 7,000 feet of abrupt rise.
And that lack of foothills, that's the defining thing, right?
That's the geological key, yes.
Yeah.
That sudden verticality makes the Tetons arguably the most dramatic, most photogenic mountain range in the U.S. But it's not just the mountains. The park's ranking also reflects the incredibly rich ecosystem down in the valley in Jackson Hole. It's prime territory for big animals. You've got moose often hanging out near Jenny Lake, huge bison herds, elk.
And bears, I assume?
Oh yeah, grizzly bear sightings are pretty common. So it's the whole package: stunning peaks and vibrant wildlife.
And Jenny Lake itself, framing those sharp peaks. It's just picture perfect. Okay, next, number 13. We're heading way out west to the Pacific Northwest, Mount Rainier National Park, Washington. Now, this isn't just a mountain. It's a massive active volcano, right? Over 14,000 feet.
Correct. 14,410 feet, and it's glacier-clad. What's really interesting is that Rainier has more glacial ice than all the other Cascade volcanoes combined. It holds the title for the most heavily glaciated peak in the lower 48 states.
Wow. 25 named glaciers, the source says.
Yep, radiating right from the summit. And the Paradise area, well, it really earns its name. Famous for the views, of course, but especially for those incredible subalpine meadows just boasting with wildflowers in the summer.
Sounds amazing. But the source also highlights the Wonderland Trail. Why is that so important?
Well, it's a serious undertaking, a 93-mile hike that completely circles the base of the volcano.
93 miles?
Yeah, it connects all these different ecosystems from ancient forests lower down all the way up to the stark alpine zones near the glaciers. And all the while, that massive volcano is just looming over you. It really gives you a sense of the mountain's immense scale and presence. It's an epic journey.
Okay, from volcanoes back to ancient life. Number 12 brings us to Sequoia National Park, California. You really can't grasp how big these trees are from pictures, can you?
Not at all. They completely redefine big. Standing beneath them is just humbling.
And the main reason for its place on the list is the General Sherman tree.
That's the headliner, for sure. It's not the absolute tallest or the widest, but by sheer volume, it's the largest living thing on our planet.
That's incredible. These are ancient monuments, really. 2,000 years old, some of them.
Some are even older. But, the source ranks it here above maybe some parks with more varied landscapes at first glance. And people might wonder why.
Yeah, I was thinking that. If it's mainly about the one tree.
Well, it's not just the one tree or even just the groves. Sequoia offers more. You get these amazing high-adventure perspectives, too. Hike up the Morro Rock Trail, it's steep, but the payoff is this panoramic view across the whole Sierra Nevada.
Okay, so big views, too.
Big views, and then you can go underground. Crystal Cave is there. It's this beautiful marble cavern full of really cool formations. So you get the scale above ground with the trees and below ground in the cave. It's a complete package of verticality.
Got it. That makes sense. All right, rounding out this first group, number 11 takes us back to Utah. Arches National Park. This place sounds like walking through a sculpture garden made by nature. Over 2,000 arches.
Yeah, documented arches. And the landscape is just, it's otherworldly.
Okay.
It's all been carved by millions of years of water getting into cracks, freezing, thawing, expanding.
Exploiting weaknesses in the rock.
Exactly. Weaknesses in the sandstone over this underlying salt bed. But the absolute must-do, the thing that really defines the Arches experience for most people, is hiking to Delicate Arch for sunset.
Ah, yes, the one on the Utah license plate.
That's the one. Seeing that fiery red rock just glow as the light fades. You understand why it's such an icon. And don't forget the night sky. High desert elevation, hardly any light pollution. It's one of the best places in the country for stargazing. Absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, so we've covered the Southwestern giants. Now, where does the list take us next?
We transition now to what the source calls the Northern Crown's Fire and Mist. Starting this second segment strong at number 10, Glacier National Park, Montana. They call it the Crown of the Continent. Why that title?
That's a pretty grand title.
It is, but it fits. This place is pure, pristine wilderness. You've got the Continental Divide slicing right through these dramatic, glacier-carved valleys and peaks. And the highlight for most visitors is the Going to the Sun Road.
I heard about that road, an engineering marvel.
Absolutely. It's this spectacular, winding, scenic drive that cuts right through the park's heart. The views are just constant hanging valleys, turquoise alpine lakes. It's incredible.
Sounds like a must drive. What about the wild aspect, the biology?
It's a really crucial habitat. You get those iconic high-altitude animals. People often see mountain goats somehow clinging to these sheer cliffs. And of course, it's prime grizzly bear territory.
So real wilderness encounters are possible.
Definitely. It feels very untouched in many areas, a testament to its preservation.
Moving south from Montana, number 9 takes us to Rocky Mountain National Park, Colorado. This one's all about altitude, right? 415 square miles of high alpine terrain.
Altitude is definitely the key factor here. Rocky Mountain boasts the Trail Ridge Road. It's often closed well into summer because of snow.
Because it's so high.
Exactly. It's the highest continuous paved road in the entire U.S. It takes you way, way above the tree line. The views up there make you feel like you're literally on the roof of the world.
Okay, hold on. The source puts Rocky Mountain at 9, just ahead of Glacier at 10. Given Glacier's, pristine wilderness feel and that famous road, why does Rocky Mountain edge it out in this list?
That's a good question. I think it comes down to maybe the diversity of experiences, especially in the shoulder seasons. The mountains themselves are stunning. Of course, you've got Long's Peak, over 14,000 feet.
Right.
But the source really highlights a specific seasonal event, the fall rut. Hearing the elk bugling, that haunting sound echoing through those huge valleys. It describes this unforgettable, pure nature moment. That seems to be what gives it the slight edge in their ranking.
The elk bugling. Okay, that makes sense. Now, back southwest again for number 8. Bryce Canyon National Park, Utah. Here's where we need to be clear. It's not really a canyon in the traditional sense.
Correct. That's a common misunderstanding. It's actually a series of these huge natural amphitheaters, kind of like bowls, carved into the edge of a high plateau. And it's famous for one thing above all.
Hoodoos.
Hoodoos, those weird rock spire things. Exactly. Thousands upon thousands of them. These irregular columns of rock formed by frost, wedging water, freezing and expanding in cracks, and also by slightly acidic rain dissolving the limestone.
Like a forest of stone pillars. When's the best time to see it?
Oh, sunrise. Definitely sunrise, from Sunrise Point naturally. As that first light hits, it just sets all those pink, orange, and white hoodoos absolutely ablaze with color. It's spectacular. And like Arches, but even more so because it's at a higher elevation, Bryce is world-renowned for stargazing. Some of the darkest skies anywhere.
Amazing. Okay, now for a total change of pace, number 7, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, Hawaii. The name tells you pretty much everything. This place is alive.
It really is. It's dynamic, constantly changing, being reshaped by active lava flows. It gives you this incredible front row seat to see the Earth literally being created.
And the big draw is getting close to the volcanic activity.
That's what elevates it, yes. The access you get, relatively safely, to raw volcanic power, centered around the Kilauea caldera. I mean, where else can you actually walk across the floor of a crater that recently held a lake of molten lava?
You mean the Kilauea Iki Trail?
Yet the one. You hike across this cooled crust, but you can still see steam venting from cracks. It's like walking through recent geological history. Plus, you can explore the Thurston Lava Tube, this huge cave formed maybe 500 years ago when a river of lava flowed through. The outside cooled and hardened, and the molten stuff inside just drained away.
Incredible. A real lesson in geology in action.
Absolutely. It shows you how quickly and violently the planet can change.
All right, rounding out this middle section at number 6, we hit the most visited national park in the whole country, Great Smoky Mountains National Park on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. Over 11 million visitors a year. What makes the Smokies so popular?
Well, it's a combination of things. It's incredibly accessible to a huge portion of the U.S. population. Then there's that signature blue haze, the smoke that gives the mountains their name.
Which isn't actually smoke, right?
No, it's volatile organic compounds released by the dense vegetation, interacting with moisture and sunlight. It creates this beautiful, hazy, almost mystical atmosphere over these very ancient, rounded mountains. And the biodiversity is off the charts. Plus, there are just so many trails, over 800 miles of them.
Including part of the Appalachian Trail.
A significant section, yes. And for many visitors, a big draw is the wildlife viewing, especially along the Cades Cove Loop Road.
Right, that seems almost guaranteed for sightings.
It's famous for it. You have a really good chance of spotting black bears, white-tailed deer, wild turkeys, often right from your car. It offers this rich, beautiful, temperate wilderness experience that's relatively easy to access.
Okay, 11 million visitors makes sense now. That brings us to the grand finale, the top 5 pinnacles. The absolute best of the best, according to Scenic Hunter. Starting at number 5, Denali National Park, Alaska. 6 million acres, home to the tallest peak in North America.
Denali, also known as the High One, 20,310 feet. This park is all about immense scale and a true commitment to wildness.
How does that wildness translate to the visitor experience?
Well, they really limit private vehicle traffic on the main park road, which is 92 miles long. Most people take shuttle buses, so it's less about quick scenic drives and much more about this immersive wilderness safari experience. You're out there for hours, scanning the tundra and slopes.
Looking for the wildlife.
Exactly. Searching for Denali's Big Five,
Mm-hmm.
moose, caribou, Dall sheep, those white sheep you see high on the ridges, wolves, and of course grizzly bears.
And the mountain itself, the source says you only see the peak clearly about 30% of the time.
That's right. It often creates its own weather system, which makes it even more special when the clouds do part and that massive, snow-covered giant reveals itself. It just dominates everything. Denali ranks this high because it offers such an authentic, raw encounter with North American wilderness. Few places compare.
Unforgettable, I imagine. Okay, number 4. We're back in Utah one last time for Zion National Park. This park seems defined by contrasts, those towering, rust-colored cliffs against the Green River carving through them.
That's it, exactly. The Virgin River carving through sandstone. Zion is like this ultimate adventure playground within the park system. And it really earns its high ranking based on 2 specific bucket list level experiences.
Okay, what are they?
First, hiking the Narrows. This means you're literally wading, sometimes walking, sometimes maybe swimming short distances in the Virgin River between these incredibly high, narrow canyon walls that have been sculpted by water over millennia.
Wow, you're in the canyon, not just looking at it.
Totally immersed. And the second one, well, it's the one that gets people's hearts pounding. The hike up Angel's Landing.
Ah, the famous one with the chains.
That's it. It's a tough climb, and the final section goes up this incredibly narrow rock fin. You have to hold on to chains bolted directly into the rock face to make it to the top.
Sounds terrifying.
It can be. Definitely not for everyone. But the panoramic views from that summit, looking down Zion Canyon, the source argues they justify the adrenaline and definitely justify the park's number 4 spot.
I can believe it. Okay, number 3. We're talking about perhaps the most iconic national park image of all. Yosemite National Park, California. This is the archetype, isn't it? The one that inspired it all.
Yosemite really is the quintessential national park for many people. It's this incredible showcase of glacial power and just staggering vertical relief. You've got those instantly recognizable granite icons, El Capitan.
That sheer 3,000-foot cliff face.
Right, and the unique profile of Half Dome. Then you add the sheer power of Yosemite Falls, the tallest waterfall in North America, plunging down from the high country.
And like Sequoia, it also protects those giant trees.
Yes, the Mariposa Grove holds another stunning collection of ancient sequoias, so it's that combination. The massive granite walls, the thundering waterfalls, the ancient giant trees, all concentrated in the relatively accessible Yosemite Valley. That's why it remains consistently in the absolute top tier. It inspired generations for a reason.
Truly foundational. All right, we're down to the final two. At number 2, it's the Grand Canyon, Arizona. This isn't just scenery. It's like looking at deep time itself.
That's a perfect way to put it. The Grand Canyon doesn't just display geology, it is geological time, laid bare. You're looking at potentially 2 billion years of Earth's history, exposed by the relentless work of the Colorado River.
The scale is just mind-boggling. 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, a mile deep.
The numbers are staggering, yes. But what really cements its number 2 spot, according to the source, is the sheer variety of ways you can experience that scale. You can stand in awe on the South Rim, sure, but you can also hike down into it on trails like the Bright Angel.
A totally different perspective from below.
Completely different. Or you can experience it from the river itself by rafting. And then there's the modern thrill, the skywalk at Eagle Point on the West Rim.
Glass bridge.
Yeah, a glass walkway extending 70 feet out over the edge, looking straight down. 1,000 feet or more. It's dizzying, maybe terrifying for some, but undeniably a unique perspective on that vastness.
A true world wonder, which leads us to number 1. The top spot on Scenic Hunter's list goes to Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. What makes Yellowstone the ultimate? Is it Old Faithful?
Old Faithful is definitely iconic, but Yellowstone is so much more. The source points to the hidden power beneath the park. Did you know there's a massive supervolcano slumbering right under Yellowstone?
A supervolcano? Seriously?
Yes, and that immense underground heat engine is what drives everything you see on the surface. It fuels not just Old Faithful, but all the park's famous geothermal features: the geysers, the bubbling mud pots, the incredibly colorful hot springs like Grand Prismatic Spring. Yellowstone is like this living, breathing testament to the raw energy inside our planet.
So it's the geothermal activity that puts it at number 1.
That's a huge part of it. But it's also the sheer scale and diversity of the wildlife. We mentioned the Lumlah Valley earlier. People call it America's Serengeti.
For wildlife viewing.
Unparalleled opportunities. Huge herds of bison, elk, pronghorn. You have good chances of seeing wolves, grizzly bears. It's just teeming with life, often right out in the open valleys. So you combine that top-tier geothermal weirdness, the incredible wildlife, and stunning scenery like the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone with its huge waterfalls. It's the whole package. The source sees it as the ultimate concentration of national park superlatives.
What an incredible countdown. We've gone from the massive scale of canyonlands through volcanic fire in Hawaii, glacial ice in Montana and Alaska, ancient trees, otherworldly arches, all the way to Yellowstone's supervolcano and wildlife spectacle. I hope this deep dive has really helped you, our listener, get a handle on why these 15 parks are considered the absolute must-sees by Scenic Hunter.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Looking at them together, these sources really highlight that these aren't just pretty places. They're dynamic stages for immense natural forces. You see the slow, grinding power of glaciers in Glacier and the Tetons, the creative destruction of volcanoes in Hawaii and Rainier, the patient, relentless erosion carving the Grand Canyon in Zion. It all reminds you that the Earth isn't static. It's this constantly evolving, incredible masterpiece.
That's a perfect thought to end on, a reminder of the living planet beneath our feet. And remember, this deep dive was based on the expert curation found in Scenic Hunter's Guide. If you enjoyed this exploration of America's natural wonders, subscribe to Scenic Hunter for more valuable travel content and podcasts.
Indeed. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep seeking out those monumental moments that nature holds for us.